Okay, so Amy is a body language expert.
Hey, yo.
And she says, body language says he's more nervous than lying. He's tapping his fingers, shifting in his chair. I mean, he's not sweating yet. He's not sweating like Relly was sweating. We'll see. Yeah, this is, I would agree. It's not a great witness.
Well, I handle the prop gun. I know how it works. I've never fired a prop gun, but I understand how it works.
You've seen a prop gun fired, though, correct?
Have I seen one fire in person? No.
You've seen a prop gun either fired in person, in a video.
Oh, in a video or a movie? Yeah, of course, yeah.
And you would agree that a prop gun, it cannot fire an actual projectile, agree?
That's correct.
And would you also agree that because it can't fire a projectile, it has no ability to, for instance, to protect somebody if the other guy has a real gun? Would you agree?
That's not true, because some prop guns can fire projectiles, so I don't know why they're...
I'm sorry, can you ask that different way, please?
So, let's say you pull out a prop gun. There's no bullet that can be fired from that prop gun. And someone in response pulls out a real gun. You would agree, real gun versus prop gun, not good for the person who has a prop gun, agreed?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
You understand that in this case, you have said that the defendant was possessing the prop gun because he had been advised by you and a security person as a result of home invasions and stalking and a violent situation where he's been stabbed to carry a prop gun, correct?
Yes.
And would you agree, I want to give you the following scenario. An individual has a prop gun in their possession. Somebody threatens them. The person who has the prop gun takes out that prop gun. Would you agree, Mr. Levin, that in such a scenario, if the individual they pull the prop gun on, at that point in time, if that person does not know it's a prop gun.
Oh, good God. Are y'all following him? Jesus. What? Who taught this man to ask questions? Good God. I have to rewind it because I don't know what the hell. I don't know what in the world he is asking. These are the most compound, nonsensical questions I've ever seen a prosecutor ask. Goodness. All right, we'll take our time. Miss Love was not this bad with rambling on.
The person who has the prop gun takes out that prop gun. Would you agree, Mr. Levin, that in such a scenario, if the individual they pull the prop gun on, at that point in time, if that person does not know it's a prop gun, that when the individual pulling the prop gun is pulling it out, if the other person has a real gun, the person with the prop gun is going to be in trouble. Would you agree?
Objection, Your Honor. Suspect.
Objection, Your Honor. Stupid ass question. What he was asking is, would he agree that if you have a prop gun and I have a real gun, that you having a prop gun would be at a disadvantage because I have a real gun? We talked about this the other day on the live stream. Good God.
If someone's got a prop gun and they run up against somebody with a real gun, and that person with the real gun sees that prop gun.
Is this the Wild Wild West? You got two people out here with guns? If you're up against another person with the... What is he saying, man?
On them, you would agree.
Boy, this is brutal.
In that situation, based on what you know about firearms, that the person with prop gun is likely going to get shot.
Objection, same one.
Thank you for
I want to
sustaining
give you a scenario,
these dumb
sir.
questions.
You carry firearms, correct?
That's not correct. I do not carry. I'm not licensed to carry a firearm in public.
You're in your house. You're in your home. You have multiple firearms, correct?
Correct.
Somebody comes in that you don't know, and they have a prop gun. But you don't know it's a prop gun. They just
Wow.
pull a gun on you. Would you agree, sir, that when someone pulls a gun on you, you're going to treat that as if it is a real firearm?
I mean, it depends on like this. There's other factors in the scenario that I would need to like know. I can't just really speak on that just like that.
So you're in your house and someone is coming in, an intruder, and you don't know them, and they have a gun in their hand that looks like a real firearm. And you're saying, I don't know if I would consider that a real firearm. Might be a prop gun. Is that your testimony?
Well, no, I'm saying there's other factors that would be in it. If someone came into my home and was pointing a gun at me and I believed it to be a real gun, most likely I would comply with what they wanted. Because if I thought it was a real gun and I went to go pull out a gun, in the motion of me trying to pull a gun out, they would possibly gun me down.
And would you agree that if somebody is pulling a gun and you don't know in advance that it is definitely a prop gun, you're going to assume it's a real gun, correct?
Yes.
Now, your testimony is that the defendant was advised that he should be carrying a prop gun, not to protect himself against individuals who knew that he carried a prop gun, but to protect himself against individuals he did not know, like home invaders, stalkers, violent people.
That's
correct?
funny, right?
It was just to fight off any type of violence that could come from, not any specific.
And when you say fight off,
Deter from violence.
meaning pull a fake gun out of your pocket.
Lower the volume.
Pull a fake gun out of your pocket. And that's what you mean by fighting off?
I mean, it was there to deter violence. So if he was in a situation where he was going to be harmed, it could be there something possibly to calm things down and safely get him out of a bad situation.
Would you agree that just as likely would be you pull that prop gun and the person you pull it on pulls a real gun and shoots you?
I can't speak on that. I mean, it's...
All right. Let me ask you this, sir. It's your
Dumb
position
question.
that everybody around the defendant knew that he carried a prop gun, correct?
His close friends, yes.
And you have heard testimony that Relly was aware that he carried a prop gun, correct?
I didn't hear any other testimony.
I want you to assume that there's been testimony in this case.
Here we go. I want you to assume
Other
again.
defense that Relly was aware
Oh, God.
that it was a prop gun that the defendant was carrying. I want you to assume that.
Lord help us.
Would you agree that if Relly knew that the gun was a prop gun, that it would not offer any deterrent if it were pulled on him because he would know it was fake?
I can't...
Guys. God, what is he doing? What is this prosecutor doing? Again, we talked about this yesterday. He is proving the defense's point. He's proving the defense's point. Because let's take 12E's story, for instance, right? 12E said ASAP Rocky was in an altercation with Relly. Relly picks up ASAP Rocky. The gun slips, right? And the only reason he pulled it out was because he wanted to reposition it, right? 12E also testified that he said that Relly said, go ahead and shoot that fake gun. Then they go around the corner into, what did he call it? He called it event 2 or scene 2. They go around the corner. It looks like Relly gets into it with Ills. Rocky fires 2 shots. Nobody runs off. Nobody runs away. So again, by asking these questions, it is proving the defense's point that not only is 12E's testimony true, not only did Relly lie, but everyone there knew that Rocky was carrying a fake gun. I don't know why he keeps going down this path, but again, we're looking at it. We've seen everything that the jury has seen. And if I'm sitting on the jury, what are y'all thinking? Why does he keep asking that? Because Relly didn't run away. He actually followed them. It's not just y'all. It can't be just you guys. It can't just be me.
That the gun was a prop gun. That
I don't get
would
it.
not offer any deterrent if it were pulled on him because he would know it was fake.
I can't speak to his state of mind in the situation.
Listen to me. I'm not asking you, I'm saying anybody. I want you to assume for a moment, I'll give you, do it in hypothetical terms, all right? I want you to assume that the individual who is pulling the prop gun is pulling it against somebody who knows that it is a prop gun. Would you agree that the only value of the prop gun is if you can scare or intimidate somebody into thinking that it is real?
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
Objection, Your Honor. It's also the state of mind of another.
That's not even a legal objection.
Right, speculation.
He said he's a...
I'm going to get back to the question. Listen to me, I'm not asking you, I'm saying anybody. I want you to assume for a moment, I'll do it in hypothetical terms, all right? I want you to assume that the individual who is pulling the prop gun is pulling it against somebody who knows that it is a prop gun. Would you believe that, would you agree that the only value of the prop gun is if you can scare or intimidate somebody into thinking that it is real?
Speculation.
Would you agree, Mr. Levin, that if an individual understands that a fake gun you're pulling is fake and not real, then that gun doesn't have any value for deterrence?
Objection. Same objection. Same way.
So, there's been testimony in this
Jeez,
case
man.
by the defense that, again, Relly was aware that this was a prop gun. Are you aware that the defense in this case, Mr. Levin, is that the defendant pulled the prop gun on Relly to stop him from attacking Hills? Are you aware that that's the defense?
Yes.
Okay, and my question is, given your knowledge of firearms and given your advice to the defendant about carrying a prop gun, would you agree that if Relly knows it is a prop gun, that the theory that you have raised about why the defendant is carrying a prop gun doesn't work?
Objection, Your Honor. Statements before speculation. Overruled. As phrased, overruled.
Well, no. So the prop gun, like I said, it makes a loud noise, so that's going to draw attention and possibly draw police to come. So if he's beating up Ills and nothing is going, and he's not stopping, nothing's like stopping him, that loud noise is going to draw a lot of attention from all people around, and it's going to help deter the situation.
Would you agree that...
And that would be true because somebody called 911. Fair point. Interesting point. I don't know if I buy it all the way, but
And
interesting point
he's not
nonetheless.
stopping, nothing's like stopping him. That loud noise is going to draw a lot of attention from all people around, and it's going to help deter the situation.
Would you agree that if a prop gun is used, that there is no reason for the person pulling the prop gun to aim the gun down or to fire, quote, a warning shot, because in the end, the gun can't fire a shot, period? Would you agree?
Objection. Speculation, Your Honor. System.
Yikes. All these
You
questions are
testified
getting
you understand
sustained.
how a prop gun works, correct?
Yes.
Can you fire a warning shot with a prop gun?
Yes.
Well, I think they're kind of all warning shots. There's no actual shot bullet that comes out, no projectile.
So you would agree that you can't fire a warning shot with a prop gun because you can't fire a shot, period. All you can do is fire off the prop gun and have it make noise. Would you agree?
That's correct. It doesn't fire a projectile.
Would you agree that if you have a real gun with bullets, and you point it at somebody, and you pull the trigger, that there is a likelihood that that person gets shot? Would you agree?
With an actual firearm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you agree that the idea of a warning shot with a real firearm is that you are pointing the gun in a direction and pulling the trigger where no one is going to be hit, so as to warn the individual, hey, I've got this gun, and if you don't stop what you're doing, I'm going to shoot you. Would you agree?
Objection, speculation, sustained.
Would you agree, Mr. Levin, that in firing a shot with a prop gun, that there would be no reason to aim the gun towards the ground because the gun can't fire anything?
Objection, speculation.
Where's the speculation?
Sustained.
On speculation?
Stop arguing with the judge.
Do you want to argue with me?
I'd like to approach. Your Honor, I'm trying to have.
He said you want to
a
argue
very
with me?
important area, and I'm not understanding.
What this witness thinks is the efficacy of a prop gun versus a real gun, what his opinion is irrelevant. Go on to another
Just so
subject.
clear, I'm doing it for his credibility in front of the jury,
Sanction.
which is relevant.
You've already touched on it enough. Go on to something else.
Dang. They're losing, man. The state is losing right now. I don't care what anybody says. This is embarrassing.
Have you seen the video involving this incident?
I saw the one that was on TMZ when he first got arrested, whenever it was posted,
So how many times have you seen the video?
maybe twice.
You're saying in 3+ years since this incident involving your brother, one of your best friends, a man you work for, that you have only looked at the video of this charged crime a couple of times.
Yes.
In that video, would you agree, I can show it to you, in that video, would you agree that between shots that the defendant is running around with his gun out and appears to be looking for a line of fire to hit the victim?
Objection, irrelevant. Sustained.
You've given testimony about the current location of the prop gun and how you went to New York and who you gave it to. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That wasn't in the statement that you reviewed with 12 bullet points, was it?
The one that you showed me with the 9 bullet points earlier?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't in there, correct.
And it's your testimony, though, that you told the defense about this back in August of 2024.
Yes.
And the individual that you returned the gun to, are they alive?
They are. I gave you the info earlier. Well, we talked about it earlier. Yeah.
I'm just saying, they're alive.
That's correct, yes.
Do you know where that gun is today?
Specifically, no. Like I said, when I got
Shout
to
out
New
to
York, I
Kevin
needed
Williams.
that.
Well, so since you became involved, since you've known about where that gun went, since you gave it back, at some point in time, did you become aware that, you know what, the fact that it's a prop gun is important in this case?
Yes.
And you understand that if it's a prop gun, the defendant cannot be guilty of the charges because it's not a real gun. You understand that, correct?
That's correct. It's a problem.
So what efforts did you make in the last 3 years to try to get that prop gun back so that you could demonstrate, hey, my brother, he didn't do this crime? Did you make any efforts?
Yeah, I asked the co-director if he had.
Is he asking him, did you interfere with an investigation? Is that what he really just asked him? Someone said in the chat that's not his job. Sir, did you attempt at any time to tamper with evidence? Evidence at this point, right? At any time, did you go to a Dunkin' Donuts, return to the scene of the crime, look in a garbage can and say, oh, hey, here's the prop gun, I found it, and turn it into the police? What? Ah. Oh, man.
Had to still, and he doesn't.
When did you ask him?
Specifically, I don't remember, sir.
Now, isn't it true, sir, that you testified you returned it in January of 2022?
That's correct, yes.
He's not
Did
really.
it seem
He's not a
strange to
detective,
you that
really.
you were returning a gun?
A prop gun.
Huh?
A prop gun?
Is a prop gun a gun?
It's a prop gun.
So when I say gun, you don't need to correct me.
Okay.
He said,
When
okay.
you returned the gun in January of 2022,
Cat
by
went to
that
Dunkin'
time,
Donuts.
you were aware that your friend Rocky
Oh, man.
was potentially going to be getting in some trouble as it relates to that incident, correct?
No, I was not aware of that.
So, but you certainly knew 3 months later in April, correct?
Yes, when he got arrested, I knew he was.
And you knew that day, as soon as you heard about it, you knew, oh my God, I've got information, that gun's not real, correct? You knew that day.
Yes.
Did you go get the gun?
I was in LA. The gun, like I said, I gave it to the director in New York in January.
Did you make an effort to try to get the gun?
I told you I contacted him to see if he still had it.
When did you contact him?
And again, I don't recall the exact date, sir. This is 3 years ago.
Isn't it true, sir, that you didn't contact him for more than a year?
So he did
Sir,
contact
to be
him.
honest, I don't know the exact date I contacted him.
Well, let me ask you something, sir. Wouldn't you have instantly, the day you heard about the defendant getting arrested, wouldn't you have jumped on a plane to get back there and find that prop gun that would have gotten your brother out of the trouble that he was in? Wouldn't you have done that?
Sir, I contacted the director. I don't know exactly when to see if he had it. He doesn't have it anymore.
And so you just did you ask him what he did with it?
Yes.
Did you investigate further once he told you?
No, I didn't. I mean, he doesn't have it anymore. I don't know which one is it.
Did you go to the police and tell them what you knew?
No.
Did you go to the prosecution and tell them what you knew?
No.
You're aware that he had a preliminary hearing in November of 2023. You're aware of that preliminary hearing, correct?
Yes.
You knew it was publicized in the media, correct?
Yes. Yes.
You knew that based at that time that your brother, your close friend, could not have committed this crime because it wasn't a real gun, and you didn't do anything, did you?
I knew it was a prop gun.
Does you yourself, knowing it's a prop gun, does that help your brother with his legal problem if you don't tell anybody?
I'm sorry, can you ask that again?
So we just out here doing the LAPD's job. LAPD's job. What is this? What is this line of questioning? Everybody's not really. Everybody does not want to interfere with an active investigation. There's more ramifications there because they had nothing to gain. They knew the truth, allegedly, right? The truth. Why is he trying to shame him in front of the jury because he didn't try to interfere with this system that prosecutor stands on? No, when I'm called, I'm called. Otherwise, I'm staying out of it.
You said you knew it was a prop gun.
Yes.
My question is,
Except
you understand
LAPD.
the police, the prosecution, and the court needs to understand it's a prop gun in order for you to help them, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, nobody contacted me from the police or the courts. Nobody contacted me until like 2 weeks ago, like from the police or the
Wait,
courts.
would you, sir, have had every incentive, every motive, every desire to contact the police and the prosecution to tell them, hey, my buddy, my close friend, my brother Rocky is innocent. That was a fake gun. Wouldn't you have had every motivation to do that?
I knew that this was going to court. I knew I
Mind
was
your
on my time to
business.
speak about it here to the jury.
Well, so you decided
He wasn't even
you
there.
would wait, have your brother held to answer, have him brought to trial in front of 12 jurors, rather than simply going to the police and prosecutors and telling them, hey, listen, that was a fake gun. Is that your testimony?
Like I said, I knew that this trial, this case was going to trial, and I would have my opportunity to speak here in front of the jury and explain it.
I want to ask you again.
Okay.
Did you understand that by not coming forward, that you were putting your brother, your best friend, in more legal jeopardy. Did you understand that?
No, I didn't. I didn't understand that. I didn't, no.
So, you were present on April 20th, 2022, when a search warrant was served at Mr. Mayor's residence, correct?
I wasn't present when it was served, but I was there during the search, yes.
You were there when they were doing the search, correct?
Correct, yes.
The police, correct?
Yes,
The police, the detectives handling this case, correct?
correct.
That man seated right in the back. Can you stand up for me, detective? You saw him at the defendant's house, correct?
Oh,
That's
Detective
right.
Flores still
Eye on
there?
this case?
Man, get him out of there.
Did you walk up to him and say to him, detective, yours a prop gun? That's not right. He didn't do anything. Did you tell the detective that?
Guys, if a detective comes into your house and they say to you, hey, we got a warrant to search this house. We might find something, we might not. Knowing that you have the right to remain silent and that anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Is anyone in this chat going to start talking to the LAPD? Please let me know. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. It wasn't a gun. It was a prop gun. You think you're just going to start yelling that out to the police? Come on, man. Nobody would do that. Be like, all right, well, I guess I need to get a lawyer. Y'all do what you got to do. What are we doing here, Lewin?